Now comes my second story. Yeah, look at this picture. What can you see in this picture? Yes, these are students, right? And I think they are on their way to school. Here we have a new phrase, on my way. And remember this phrase because it is very often used. By the way, I have a question for you. So, which route do you travel the most? Yes, I think it's definitely the route you take to work, right? Like these students, I think the route, the way they take the most is the way to school, right? And what do you usually see on your way to work? Do you notice that? If not, tomorrow please pay more attention because observing what's going on around you to find out is anything else to love. Yes, now let's find out what I see on my way to work through the story I am going to talk about right now. Okay. It is about 8 kilometers from my house to my company, so it takes me 15 minutes to get there. Yes, of course, by motorbike. I usually start for work at a quarter past 7 and I arrive home from work at a quarter to 5. I usually uh, arrive my company on time. Yes, my working hours start at 7:30. Do you know the route I go to work is also the route to Katlai Port? And Katlai Port is one of the 25 largest ports in the world. Yes, so there is a lot of container trucks moving on this road. The road is always crowded, and the container trucks run around the clock. Yes, two sides of the road are planted with trees, yes, and the houses close together. Most of houses are on the road frontage, have open shops, yes, and the front rooms are used to have shops. You can see that motorbike repair shops, beverage shops, tailor shops, restaurants, and grocery stores, home appliances stores, and tailor shops, and picturesque wooden houses, and roadside eateries, restaurants. Yes, and there's a lot. Yes, and there are the hawkers too. Yes, they make the most of the sidewalk for their business. On my way to work in the morning, I usually see people who don't have much time to eat breakfast at home rush to the roadside eateries to buy breakfast to bring to work. Yes, I also see workers picking grass, cutting trees. Yes, and they use the street sprinkler irrigating the trees on the road. Yes, I think they have to do this in the early morning to keep the sun out because at that time at noon it is so hot. I also see uniformed traffic policemen directing traffic, yes, in at the intersection because the morning rush hour is always crowded, right? The traffic is high. If there is any congestion, they can handle it promptly, right? Do you know I go through four traffic lights, one bridge, and one roundabout on my way to work? Okay, let me talk more about these places. First, Do you know each traffic is about 2 kilometers apart? Yes. And do you know the first traffic light is about 500 meters from my home? Yes. And it is also the traffic light I have to wait at the red light longest. Yes, I think it could be luckily, if someday our traffic light turn the green light whenever I pass by. Yes. Well, the bridge was built for a long time. Yes, so it is quite narrow with only 2 lanes. Yes, and there is a high-rise apartment building near the bridge. Across the bridge from the building is a large lawn. And in the past, the roundabout frequently occurred traffic jam. Yes, the container trucks are backed up for kilometers, and the motorbikes scrambled to find some places to go. Yes, they can. They mounted. They rushed onto the pavement. Yes, or they encroached on the other side of the street. Traffic became chaotic if there is no any traffic. There is no any traffic, any police traffic, any traffic police here. Fortunately, 2 years ago, a bridge was built across this roundabout. Yes, it has helped to make the traffic better, as there is no longer traffic jam here. Okay, that's the end of my second story.